Today I am in downtown LA at the Natural History Museum. I'm starting here at the Universal City Metro station. The parking here is $3 a day, and then I'll take the train down to 7th Street Metro. From there I'll get off and go over to the Exposition line. I'll take that down to Exposition Center, and the Natural History Museum is across the street. The building behind me is the original entrance to the Natural History Museum. The building is 100 years old and it's been restored to its glory. As you walk in, it is a beautiful Beaux Arts rotunda. In the top is a gorgeous stained glass window that reflects down onto a statue of the three Graces, the muses of history, arts, and sciences. On this side of the rotunda is the Age of Mammals. The Age of Mammals is called the Cenozoic period, which started about 65 million years ago through the present. That's right, we are still in the Cenozoic period. I think the Hall of Mammals feels familiar because a lot of these animals still exist, whereas in the Hall of Dinosaurs, none of those exist anymore. The exhibits here are not just of animals. They have some skulls from ancient humans as well, and a couple of skeletons from ancient humans. They don't waste any space. They have got fossils of sea creatures hanging from the ceiling here on the second floor, and you can look down and see the fossils on the first floor. This side of the second floor of the Hall of Mammals talks about fossils that were found 27,000 years ago at the LaBrea Tarpits, 10 million years ago, 15 million years ago, and 40 million years ago. Pretty amazing. Check out this big guy. His name is Sinclair, and he's actually a smaller ground sloth. There were ground sloths that got as large as the size of an elephant. This guy. Big hands, tiny skull, tiny brain. This side of the second floor has a number of exhibits called How Can We Tell? How can we tell what they ate, how they moved, whether they were male or female, how did they behave, and they have fossils that represent how we can tell those things about them. Take a look at this guy. This is a distant cousin to the elephant, but it's a marine mammal. Take a look at how interesting the paws are, or claws. I mean, I guess maybe they could be fins. It's just an interesting looking marine mammal. Around the second floor of the rotunda are a series of 24 paintings by artist Charles R. Knight. One of the things he specialized in was taking bones, working with paleontologists, and creating what their bodies would have looked like if they had flesh on them. He painted all of these between 1944 and 1946. Opposite the rotunda entrance is Becoming LA, but don't enter this way because it puts you in the middle of the exhibit. Instead, what you're going to do is go through the Hall of Dinosaurs and enter at the very beginning. On the other side of the rotunda is the Hall of Dinosaurs. One of the things I love about the way they have the exhibits laid out is that you can walk around them and see them from all sides. You can also go up to the second floor and take a look down onto them. They have the animals posed in positions that they would likely be in, attacking, resting, or in some cases even dying. Another thing I really like is that they have different parts of the dinosaur on display, like the heads here, or the different feet, or they'll have the mandible, other pieces so you can see them up close. They also have some dinosaur eggs that are fossilized that you can touch. Just really interesting exhibits to give you a full feel of what it was like back in the age of dinosaurs. The second floor of the Hall of Dinosaurs has an exhibit on the excavation of these dinosaurs, the tools that are used, field notes, and they also have some interactive exhibits for kids and adults alike to enjoy. Another thing they do really well here is that they give a drawing of the dinosaur as it would have appeared in life with its skeleton in the same pose next to it. This is a duck-billed dinosaur, and what's really interesting about it is that there is a fossilized portion of his skin. So scientists can tell that this type of dinosaur had scaly skin like a reptile. Another thing that's interesting is they found this fossil next to several others, which implies that the duck-billed dinosaurs lived in herds rather than living by themselves. These bones can tell us a lot. The Hall of Dinosaurs continues with some very large and impressive skeletons. If you're looking for a perfect selfie with the dinosaurs, this room is the place for you. This is the Hall of African Mammals. This was one of my favorite exhibits. These are dioramas of African mammals in their natural settings. Above it, on the second floor, are the North American mammals. These tableaus are so realistic. This hall is dark so that the light from the diorama takes center focus and there's nothing to distract you. This room is the Hall of Birds. I can't tell you why, but it kind of freaks me out, so I'm not spending any more time here. All right, this bird exhibit is pretty cool. It is called Bird Feats, and what they have done is they have highlighted some of the features of what birds can do in the form of blue ribbons and trophies and medals and things like that. So, like the longest feathers, the fastest that they can fly, the deepest they can dive, the longest wingspan, things like that. So that's a pretty cool exhibit. This area is pretty cool. It is the Dino lab. This is where the paleontologists are actually working on the fossils that they have. I am in what's called the Visible Vault. These are archaeological treasures from ancient Latin American cultures, the Mayans and the Aztec. Sacrificing was an important part of the Aztec culture, and this particular basin was built specifically to hold the heart and blood of the sacrificial victims. This is a mausoleum lintel. It is thought to have been above the staircase, the primary staircase of a mausoleum. It is a depiction of two men in jaguar costumes. I'm not exactly sure what the symbolism of it is, but it's pretty spectacular. This tiny figurine was found in a burial site. It is of Mayan origin and dated 600 to 900 AD. This is the same type of called a backstrap loom that is still used today. This is the start of the Becoming Los Angeles exhibit. This is where you want to come in rather than from the rotunda, because this starts at the very earliest of the inhabitants from this era, the ancient Indians. You've seen this photo before on my channel, but I love the way they've done it, where it transitions from the old Hollywood sign back in the early 1920s to what it looks like today. This exhibit was enormous, so much to see. The part that interested me the most was the beginnings of the movie industry. This is where Walt Disney created Mickey Mouse. Here's some early movie magic. Carriage, and it's traveling down the road, so you have the screen behind it. But if you're filming from the front, it looks like you're actually traveling down the road. There was so much more to see. The Hall of Minerals and Gems, the rotating gallery, underwater LA, and more. It's 5 o'clock and they are telling us we all have to leave, and of course the exit is through the museum store. This has been absolutely fantastic. I hope it helps you find your adventure. Thank you for watching. On your way out, you get one more treat, this amazing whale